Hello, I'm Gavin Mitchell, and I have really exciting news. You know the ant farm that I started off with? Well, I expanded it into 3 different containers. Here we go. And I call them each by name. The one that we started off with the flag, New Reddington. I now call that the living room area because that's where all the water comes from and a lot of the sugar, but in this case all the sugar would actually be in this desert area. I call it that because all of it is sediment and there's some sugar in there, kind of a lot, and that moves to the natural area where there are baby foxtails and 2 rocks. You might not see one of them, but yeah, I think you see one of them, but the other one's kind of hard to see. And the baby foxtails are there just for in the future. The ant will probably feed on that and things like that. Yeah, that's why it's called the natural area and all that stuff. Oh, and if you look, you could see the 2 wide straws. Those are used for tunnels, so they're all connected. And if you noticed, one of them, the desert area, it's hard to see, but it's smaller. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is the desert area, this is the natural area, and this is the living room area. And if I put this ruler on it, it's kind of hard to see, but it's going sideways up like this. Yeah, so the desert area is kind of small. And I want the straws to all be on the surface, but this changed a lot since this one's smaller. And you're probably wondering why I made it smaller. Well, it was kind of an accident. I thought I had a different bottle, so I had to make it smaller, but I was wrong in that case. Here we go. So on this diagram, you could see all of the containers. So we first have the living room area, the desert area, which is obviously smaller, and of course a natural area, which is the same size as the living room area. And so what happened was I had to put the straw on the highest point on the desert area so it could at least go in the living room area a little higher. But the thing is, the straw is in the soil in the living room area, and you're probably like, how the ants are going to get to it? Well, I thought that they were going to dig eventually when there's more ants. There's only 1 queen, so we're still waiting on that. And yeah, I think that they were going to dig, go through the tunnel, and then go in the desert area, which is smaller, so obviously that straw would lead to the oxygen area. I'm sorry, all of this is probably sideways, but they would go to the air. And then this straw would also be in the air and would go to the natural place, which is actually filled with soil and sediment. And this would also lead to the soil. You might be stuck on this. It's kind of hard to explain here. This might make it easier. Oh, sorry. Wow, alright. We're just gonna do it like this. Even though the bottles don't look like this, I'm just trying to make it easy to explain. This is the air part, the oxygen, and this is the oxygen also. But this is when it goes into soil, and this goes into the soil a little deeper. And the straw is right here. Now, let's just say the oxygen level is at this line, so this is still in the oxygen. But the thing is, this oxygen line is right here. So this is in the soil. So the soil would be right here to here, all the way to the bottom. So this means that the ants would have to dig down to go to this place. Okay, I'm glad that worked. I'll move all the way over here again. Okay, so this diagram, we have all of the containers, living room area, desert area, and of course the natural area. And yeah, the oxygen that the straw is leading to is in the air place. It's not in the soil place, so that would be easy for the ants that come in and out. The thing is, the soil is right here, so the ants would have to excavate and dig to get down to the straw. That's what I think is going to happen. Hopefully it will, and I think it might, but now that is proven correctly because our queen, that you might be wondering where she is, she made it to both of the containers. First, she headed to the desert area through this straw, and I think she came in because there was a gap between the soil. That's how I thought she came in, maybe. And she also came in this one. At first I thought that she was lost or something, until I had this crazy idea that she might be in the other one. So I looked, and there she was. And then she went to both of them. And yeah, right now she's in the natural area because she probably likes it because it's nice, and she just likes to hang out on the rocks. I guess it's her favorite spot. But then I realized that she was there for maybe too long, because eventually she can't get water, and that would be in the living room area. She would have to go all the way down to these straws to this. And eventually I didn't get that scared because evaporation was in the living room area and the natural area, because the soil was like there was still like water that was evaporating through it, but mostly in the living room area, because I literally poured water into the cotton ball, like we explained in the last video. But in the desert area, there's no water vapor there whatsoever, because it's just sediment and no water could get past it. It'll just, there's no water there to begin with, so yeah. Yeah, so I got afraid that she was going to stick in the natural area too long, and so I had an idea to take take this stick and squeeze it through, it doesn't have to be this container, all the tall ones, and squeeze it down so so the ant could go from the surface to dig up freely without even digging, actually, because this is just a gap that I made. And yeah, I have it down so the queen is now capable of going through all the straws freely without digging or excavating and anything like that. But she's still in that natural area, so I think she just really likes it because of the rocks and stuff, which is cool and fun with me. Here, I'll explain some really cool things about this. It has its own like temperature, and it changes, and here, the temperature changes, I think, and that's causing condensation to happen, and sometimes it goes away. Like in the morning, condensation would happen, and it would be blurry to go through because there would just be water everywhere. It would go up but not in the desert area because, you know, it's a desert. No condensation whatsoever, and all the sediments there. Which is really cool, because it's like taking its place in its own biome, kinda. And then in the middle of the day, it would go away, so it's clear to look through. Like right now, it's still clear. And, oh, Alexa, what time is it? I think she said 4:47. Yep, okay, it's 4:47. So that means, I think around at maybe 5 or 6, that's when the condensation comes again. It's really cool, and I think it's taking place in, our own temperature at our house, because yesterday it was hot, and it was, really nice. It was in, like, the 80s. And, that's when, the condensation happened again, and it was really hard to see. Okay. I think we kind of finished about explaining how we expanded it all. Yeah, here, I'll just, tell you some cool things on what we're gonna do in the future. So, okay. A few days ago, I tried to capture a queen ant so we can make another colony. And this might kind of sound messed up, but eventually, when the 2 colonies are ginormous, I would want to see if I connected them both, if they would either fight or they would join forces, or what would happen. It's a really cool experiment. I'm not there yet, but I did capture a queen a few days ago, but she drowned. It sucked. I think here, hold on. Oh, shoot. Oops. Okay. So, you see this too? I put water in about here, right here, and then I put a cotton ball in, so, it would absorb all the water, and then the queen ant would be right here. But the water was, I guess, leaking through, and when she walked in that puddle, she couldn't walk, and so she kind of just died. But this is okay, because we still have our old queen, and she's alive and healthy and well. You know, I think today we might be able to look at her, because she's, like, on the rocks and stuff. So I'll see if I'll do that. It's amazing that we saw the queen last time. It just happened to be in the cotton ball and right in the place we could see her at. And if I do get another queen, I would want to name that colony New Reddington, because I think I explained this last time, but we have a yard. This is our yard. It's divided into 2 spaces. This would be the red area, and this would be the white area, because there's red rocks and white rocks. And now, like, New Reddington, because it's red, I would want to call it New Reddington. Spelled with a T, but pronounced with a T. Reddington, kinda. I don't really know, but that colony's not yet here, sadly. Today, actually, I missed out on 2 queens. I tried to get one using this container, but they kept on, like, going around, and I missed them. So, just to tell you, in the future, there might be 2 colonies in our next video, but I think our next video is about to be about the eggs. I think I might see an egg. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not doing a video on it now. It's really small, and I don't know if it's an egg or not. It might be, but like my brother said, we have to wait until we see if it's bigger and if it's actually an ant egg. So yeah, in that video we'll probably be explaining the life cycle of an ant and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go see if we can see the queen. Alright, so that's gonna be hard. Okay, so she's on the rock that's right here. Well, let me get my flashlight. Maybe we could do this. Oh. So it's gonna be right there. Okay. We got a flashlight now. And alright, I'm sorry guys, I really can't see if you could see it, but she is on the rock that's right. It should be here. I think I'm focusing it wrong then. Yeah, the rock is right here. I think you guys can see it. And the queen is like hiding. Yeah, she's hiding. I'm sorry guys. You could, if you're new and if you want to see the queen, you could definitely go to our first video. It's called creating my first ant colony farm. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, if you're new here, you could check that video out, and if you want to see a queen or anything like that. Okay, I think I covered the basics for today. And, oh, maybe in the future I'll have a video about these being made into the actual containers. Maybe I'll make a video about that too, how to make an ant colony farm. Maybe I could do another one, because I tried to explain it last time. I don't think I did a good job, so I'll do it again. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. I think that's it. What time is it? Almost 5, 4:54. And yeah, I think that's it. Goodbye to you guys, and have a good day.